Okay, so I said I'd do a potato reveal because I'd experimented this year and did 4 potatoes per square foot like the square foot gardening method says. And I decided I'd do a reveal, see how it goes. So you're going to get to watch me pull out potatoes out of the ground. There's a couple different varieties. So have fun watching this. And yes, I'm pulling weeds while I'm doing this. Okay, let's get started. And I just use my hands because that's how I like to do it. Yeah, this one doesn't have very many. Oh, here's a purple potato. Nice dark purple. I also just pretty much laid these on the ground, laid the straw on top, and that's how I planted them. And this side is not looking very good. So, sorry about bumping the camera. Put straw back as I'm done, because I'm going to plant other stuff here for fall. Ooh, nice red. Ooh. Oops. Come back here, worm. Always good to leave the worms in the garden. They're a nice one. No, that's a piece of wood. Ew. Rotten one. Yuck. And this is called bindweed or wild morning glory. It's a pain in the butt. That one really doesn't want to come out of the ground. And any of these little tiny ones you leave in there will grow a new potato plant, and you'll be digging up potatoes for years. In fact, I still got some that are coming up where I didn't plant any this year. Or last year, for that matter. Yeah, we'll just pull these out. I can reuse them later. I like to use bamboo skewers to mark off my squares for square foot gardening. Just works really well for me. Yeah. There's some. still like these Kennebec. They seem to do the best work. That and the Red Norland. I'm being careful because there's a rotten seed potato in here. And you'll understand after you stick your finger in one. It is not pleasant. Yeah, it's kind of nice when you do plant stuff like this, because all you have to do is just pretty much lift up the straw and the potatoes come out. But I'm not sure I'll do it this way next year. Because this is not as many potatoes as I got last year. So, that was an experiment. It's always good to try. And it's always a good idea to weed your stuff, not when you're harvesting. Actually, I think I harvested here earlier, so that's why there's not that many. And this is wheat from the grass that grew. Yep, more bamboo skewers. I'm putting those in here so I can use them later. That's more like it. Actually, the sad part is I got more from containers this year than I got from in my ground. Last year I got more out of the ground than I got out of containers, so I didn't do containers this year. Probably shouldn't worry about these little tiny ones, but I really don't want to be picking potatoes out of here next year. I'll be picking potatoes out of here next year, so. Not going to really matter. Ooh, there's a nice one. Some of these I could probably still let grow, but I'm just kind of fed up with the plants this year, so I'm just pulling them and going ahead. See, this is why I like to grow red Norland potatoes. They're good size. And they produce quite a few. That's also a reason, like, if you're trying to figure out what your favorite variety is, to grow a few different varieties, then you know which ones work best for your area. Because you can read on the internet and stuff, see what does best for your area, but until you plant it in your own garden. Is that a... Yep, that's a worm. I thought it was a snake. As we got a few garter snakes that live around here in the garden. They're okay. They eat slugs and snails and stuff, so they can stay in my book. But yeah, the best thing to do is to try a few different varieties, and then you can eventually figure out what does good in your area. Like this year last year I grew a bunch of different tomato plants. I came to a conclusion which ones I liked, which ones did well in my area, and we just grew. So I tried to grow mainly those this year. I have a bunch of those, but I also tried a few other ones just because I had the seeds and stuff. And there's a few things that do okay, but they're a variety I really like the flavor of in that, so I still grow those. But for my main canning and stuff, I stick with Amish paste and stuff like that. But with potatoes, it's looking like more and more the best ones to grow. Actually, there's like 4 varieties that do really well. So for my area, the best ones are Kennebec, and I live in Central Ohio, Zone 6A. And it's like Kennebec, Red Norland, and strangely enough, the Adirondack Blue potatoes do really well. And there's a variety that they just came out with called All Red. It does really good. They get like huge, and I have no idea why. Like, this is my best I can do with russet potatoes. Russet potatoes do not do good around here for me. This is like my 3rd year trying them. I'm just going to pretty much give up on them. I got these seed potatoes at Walmart, so they only cost me like $2.50, so it wasn't that big of a waste of money, but I'm still tired of trying to grow the stupid little things. And if you're wondering, yes, I usually dig up potatoes by hand because I like to do it that way. Seriously, more tomato plants. Ow. And yes, I should use gloves, but I hate gloves. If anybody tells you you should wear gloves and all that, and you don't want to, don't. About the only time I use gloves is if I'm having to dig up a poison ivy plant. Of course, I've only broken out from poison ivy like once in my life. I was pregnant, so probably had something to do with it. And that looks pretty much the end of my potato harvesting. I'm going to put the straw back because there's a lot of little stuff in here that's really happy with it. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to pull a couple thistles out. And some rogue tomato plants that don't go here. These are from last year when I planted tomatoes here. Tomatoes will reseed and come back up. There. Alright, I guess I'll show you what all we got, harvest-wise. And that's how many potatoes I got from a 7-foot length bed, 4 seed potatoes per square foot, and 14 squares. Yeah, I'm doing a different method next year, not square foot, 4 per square. But hey, it's potatoes. We got some. All good. I'll talk to you in the next video. See you later. Bye.